This week I'm using this Cozy Nights kit from Lily and Meeko Designs for the week of July 25th through July 31st, 2022, which just so happens to be my birthday week. So I have some extra foils that I'll be using from Pretty Organized Plans and Plana Hannah. They're all in either gold or light gold. This week, I actually have recently purchased all of the stickers that I'm using. Most of the stuff that I have for my 2022 planner was actually bought a while ago when I was expecting to plan in 2022. But for whatever reason, I didn't actually get around to purchasing my birthday kit. Maybe I was just waiting to come across the perfect one and then never actually found anything and then forgot to get something. But luckily, I did come across this kit from Lily and Meeko Designs, and I really liked it. It's it doesn't have any blue in it, and most of the other kits that I was using for this month for 2022 has blue in it, but that's okay. But I do kind of like when my birthday week stands out just a little bit from the rest of the weeks in my planner, which is also why I'm using foil for this week. I don't usually use foil, usually just because it's so much extra effort and a lot more expensive. But sometimes I do like to splurge when it's something like a holiday or a birthday. And so I did end up kind of indulging for this week and getting some gold foil. I did already have the Pretty Organized Plans script foils, but the Planahana light gold foils were also new and purchased just recently. It was the first time that I've ever purchased from Planahana, and I will say that the stickers came in about a month after ordering, which is totally fine. I had heard from a few different places that the Planahana stickers are made to order, and so to expect a little bit more time for them to come in. And I don't know if a month is standard, but that was my experience, and I just wanted to share that because everywhere that I had heard that these stickers would take a little bit of extra time to come in, no one ever actually specified what a little extra time was. So it's like, does a little extra time compared to the shops that ship in like a week, or a little extra time like I have to wait a few months? Like, what, how much time are we talking here? So for me, for this specific order, it was about a month. So just kind of throwing that out there. I was tempted to get a more party or birthday themed sticker kit for this week, but honestly, it was a pretty chill birthday as far as my birthdays go. It wasn't a big milestone birthday or anything, and I had had a pretty busy summer up to this point, and I actually had a high school reunion, which is so crazy to believe, my 10-year high school reunion. Over this weekend after my birthday. And then I had a Disney trip coming up in a couple of months. So there was just a lot going on. And my birthday really wasn't like a focus of the summer for me or a top priority for planning things. So I'm really happy with the choices that I was able to make for stickers for this week, just because, first of all, I love the colors. This kit is like all of my favorite colors, with all the pinks and the purples and the peaches and the dusty rose and the periwinkles and the cute little cat and the just overall cozy at home kind of vibes that really exemplify my birthday situation for this year. But with the moon and the stars in there, I was able to find like the moon and stars themed stickers from Planahana. And so it all comes together really well. And I think it does a really good job of showing off how I celebrated my birthday this year, with it being a little bit more relaxed and calm and kind of like a recharge to my battery, while also still being very like special as far as getting all of my favorite colors in there and then being able to use foils for the week. I do struggle a little bit with foils, so you'll see that throughout this plan with me just because I don't use them very often, and so I don't really have, you know, a plan going into it of how I want it to look, except just knowing that I want it to be sparkly, I guess. So it's a bit of a struggle, but I guess that's not really news when it comes to my plan with me's. So here I'm just topping off my sidebar with a little birthday week script. And then I put it on a half box and realized that I still wanted a little bit more sparklies on there. So I added some of the little sparkles from Planet Hannah. And then I'm still trying to figure out how I want my eating disorder recovery tracking to look in my planner. I want to be as transparent as I can with all of that stuff just because I think there are conversations that need to be had. And I am in a position where I can feel comfortable talking about those things, but I also don't want it to be triggering for anybody. So for now, I'm keeping them hidden behind a full box, and luckily, I had plenty of full boxes with this kit to be able to do that in my sidebar. So on Monday, I did have a workout scheduled that morning. It ended up getting rescheduled though, so I will cover it with a rescheduled sticker later. But for now, I just wanted to make sure that it was shown that I did have a workout scheduled at some point. And then I also got a Redbubble delivery that day, and so I used a Stick It Pretty delivery script sticker to mark that. Later that evening, I did do some video editing, so I used an editing sticker from Elaine Michelle's studio, and I grabbed a Plantasia Prince shop sticker to show that I cleaned the kitchen on that day, which is a lie. I did not clean the kitchen that day. I read my dates wrong, so I spent all this time trying to position that clean the kitchen sticker, and then I ended up just having to pull it up and throw it away anyway. So don't get too attached to that sticker, which is a bummer because I think it matched the kit relatively well as far as functional stickers go that are not included in the kit. It looks really nice and I ended up not using it anyway. But what I did end up doing on Monday was grocery shopping at Walmart, which is my go to grocery place. I'm not fancy or bougie or anything. I do most of my grocery shopping at Walmart. Don't judge. But that's really it for Monday. It was a relatively chill day, not too much going on, which I'm sure was intentional. I've made the mistake before of trying to start off my work week of being super productive and getting a lot done on Monday, but honestly, Mondays are awful, and my energy is at an all time low for the week on Mondays. And so I just don't have the energy to do a lot of stuff usually. And so what ends up happening is that I don't get anything done. And if I plan to get stuff done, then I just feel guilty that I didn't do anything during that day. So I have just decided don't plan on doing too much on Mondays. Nothing is going to get done anyway, so just accept it and work with it instead of against it. But Tuesdays, when I had my makeup workout session, followed by a trip through the Dunkin' drive through. And it's at this point in my planning process when I realized that I got the date for my kitchen cleaning notes mixed up, so I had to fix that mistake real quick before moving on to the rest of Tuesday. While I was at Dunkin' on Tuesday, I did end up reloading my Dunkin' card, or I guess reloading the balance on my app. But I do have a sticker for reloading my card from Sticker Supply Co. So if you have a sticker for it, might as well put it in the planner. And then later this evening, I got a lot of YouTube stuff done, mostly for my Disney park bag video, which is kind of like a what's in my bag kind of video, but the backpack that I bring with me to the Disney theme parks, it wasn't a great video. It didn't end up doing that well, but I thought, maybe it could help somebody out there trying to figure out what they need to bring to the Disney parks. I don't know, but I ended up getting most of the editing done on this day that I hadn't gotten done the day before. And I was able to mark a lot of that YouTube stuff with these Elaine Michelle Studio stickers for things like uploading, editing, and then I did a little bit of extra filming for a different video this evening as well. And then I also created the thumbnail for that Disney Park bag video on that evening, which I marked with a fox and cactus sticker. The thumbnail was really not that good. I think the thumbnail is probably the ugliest thumbnail I have ever created, which maybe is why the video didn't do that great, but it helps identify the video, so I did want to make sure that that thumbnail was visible in the spread. So I printed it out on my little Canon Ivy printer and then just cut it down to size. I didn't really have any exact dimensions that I was trying to make it. I just knew that I wanted to make it small enough to fit like in the boundaries, I guess, of that specific day. And then I put it on top of a half box just so that it had a border that matched the spread. That video was filmed so late at night after so many hours of filming, and you can really tell that by my face in the thumbnail, which is one of the reasons why that photo looks so rough. But you know what? It is what it is. It's fine, which I'm just saying out loud to convince myself that it's okay. But once I got all of the stickers down for Tuesday, I realized there was enough, or there was too much room not to have a full box, but there wasn't enough room to have a full box. So I ended up grabbing a full box sticker that I was able to cut a lot off of without completely ruining the design. And I ended up actually having a nice little thin strip of art, I guess, left, so that I was able to kind of compensate for the big blank space that was left on Monday from where I pulled up that clean the kitchen sticker earlier. So I don't know if I've ever done this before where I've cut a full box down to size and then used the rest of it somewhere else, but it worked out really well here. Part of the reason why it worked out well was because the design of the sticker allowed me to do something like that, but I think that's a technique that I might use again in the future because I like how it turned out. Wednesday was my actual birthday, so this is where I'm going to put down all of those like big full box sized foil stickers. I don't know what to call them. Bougie boxes, overlays, underlays, I don't know. They're the big giant foiled stickers that you put down as the background. But I'm only putting those big stickers down on my actual birthday, partially because it's really expensive to buy enough of those to cover the full week, which is what I think a lot of people do who use the foiled stickers, at least from what I've seen. And it's a lot of money. But I also like to use it just on the one particular day that I'm trying to highlight for that week, or the one day with the special event or holiday, because I think it helps make that day stick out a little bit more, especially with the Happy Planner where there are no spaces in between each day. And I honestly have a hard enough time looking at spreads that have foil behind every day of the week, anyways. It's a little busy, so it's a lot for my eyeballs to be looking at just for any planner. But I think if I did that with the Happy Planner, it would be even worse. So the extra foil is just on that one day. I do eventually put some little foil highlights throughout the rest of the week, but as far as these bougie boxes, underlay sort of things go, I'm just putting them on my actual birthday to make it look extra special. It wasn't a super exciting day though. I had a workout in the morning. I got McDonald's for breakfast, which I marked with a sticker from the sticker party. And then I had a virtual meeting with my dietitian that day, which I marked with the character sticker from Planet Beautiful. I had some notes to add at the bottom of this day for my birthday. So I added a half box with like a box extender kind of thing so that I could add some messy notes in there without having to look at them. And I labeled the half box with a little quote sticker that says, "Bring a little sparkle." I think it's referring to that quote that's like, "Bring a little sparkle wherever you go," or whatever it is that's on every like millennial Pinterest board ever. um, but I think the quote sticker is from an old New Year's Eve themed kit that I used a long time ago, but I kept this quote sticker. And so I thought it was a nice touch because of the New Year's Eve theme. It has like a champagne bottle on it, but it's pink and it matches the kit. And I don't know, I think it's still appropriate for my birthday. I think birthdays and New Year's Eve kind of have a lot in common, anyways. But I did, especially because of the nature of the quote, I wanted to make sure that it was extra sparkly. So I did add some extra little twinkly sparkle things from Planet Hannah to that half box. Plus, especially on the actual birthday, you can never have too many sparkles, right? On Monday, I realized I actually made another mistake. So, because the colors of the sticker kit are so similar, I accidentally used the wrong shade of pink for the glitter headers that I used as a border for the full box on Monday. So, I had to go back and fix that. And then I made sure that the pink glitter headers that I used on Wednesday were the right color pink for that day, since I'm kind of sort of trying to color block as much as I can for this spread, as I do with basically all of my planner spreads whenever I can. Thursday was pretty boring, not too much going on that day. The most exciting thing I think that happened was it was garbage day. It was a delayed garbage day because in 2022 our garbage services were really inconsistent, and we kind of never really knew when they were showing up, even though garbage day was supposed to be Wednesday. So that was the drama for Thursday. Other than that, I just did a little bit of online shopping for planner stickers. So I did mark that I ordered stickers that day. I have no clue where I got that sticker from. It was just kind of chilling in my reusable sticker book. Um, Other than that, the only other thing that I did was I took a really nice nap, and I have this cute little napping character sticker from Joy of Planning. I probably didn't need to use a whole huge half box for it, but there really wasn't much else to do for Thursday. And then I just have like a little nap time script sticker that I have no idea where it came from. But I thought this little pajamas full box was perfect for this day because really the only thing that I did was sit around and nap on that day. So the full box at least made sense. Friday really wasn't that much more exciting, but I had a few more things going on. It was payday, so that's always a good thing. So I marked that with a foiled script sticker from Hootalally Day that I got like a billion years ago. It's a really, really old sticker. And then I also worked out that morning. So after I spent like a gazillion years trying to get sort of that like base sticker down. I marked that with a character sticker from Joy of Planning. And then, of course, I did get Dunkin' on the way home, which I so often do after workouts. But in the summer, Dunkin' has that butter pecan flavor, and I'm like obsessed with it. So I get the butter pecan iced coffees as much as possible. Now Dunkin' has said that it's officially like a permanent flavor, but in 2022, I was only able to get it over the summer. So I made sure I kind of got my fill of that for the year before the summer was over. And then I did also get DoorDash on that day, and I think I got Taco Bell for lunch, which I don't usually like getting Taco Bell because it always makes me feel like garbage. So I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to get it for lunch. Like, at least if I get it for dinner, you know, it just ruins like the evening and I can go to bed. But having a belly full of Taco Bell and then trying to go back and do work, not the best idea I've ever had, but I guess, I don't know, I was feeling some kind of way that day, I guess. For dinner, I made one of my favorite HelloFresh recipes, which was a chicken sausage and spinach soup. And then I also had to pack that evening for a road trip to Illinois for seeing family and also stopping by my 10-year high school reunion. Saturday was my mom's birthday, so I felt kind of guilty going out of town on her birthday. Um, but I did have this cute little Joy of Planning sticker that I made, or I guess I customized to look kind of like my mom. This sticker does have glasses, and my mom doesn't wear glasses that often, but for some reason, the vibes just really remind me of my mom, so I had to use that sticker to mark her birthday. And that night, I did spend the night at my grandparents' house. So I used this grandma's house sticker from Four Daisies Designs. And then I wanted to notate that I had a really late night out. I think we got back at like 5 a.m. or something. Looking back, I feel kind of bad. So this was the day of my high school reunion, and it was held at a bar. And there were a few of us that stuck around way later than we should have. The bar was owned by someone in our graduating class, and she's such a nice person, and she didn't like kick us out, but she probably should have because we hung around way too late. And I feel really bad because I think she had to get up early to open the next day. But it was a really fun time. It was awesome seeing kind of sort of familiar faces, but people that I hadn't actually seen in person and a really long, literally since I graduated. But that day I had driven out to Illinois and had the high school reunion later. So I had that cute little driving person sticker from Sticker Okie. And then the little Illinois sticker is from 989 Designs. And I chose this full box for this day of like the little cat sitting in the window because that's how I like to imagine my cats when I leave. I like to think of them like pining for me, looking out the window, hopefully not being like sad or anything, but I like to think that they miss me at least a little bit when I'm gone, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell with my cats. Like sometimes when I come home from a trip, they seem excited to see me, but sometimes they seem more like they're just mad at me because I ditched them. But I thought, it was still an appropriate full box to use for this day. And then I did my little thing where I put the glitter headers as a border for that full box or like a frame, I guess. So somehow I was able to wake up for church on Sunday morning. I was really surprised with how little sleep I got that I was able to get up early enough, but I did. Um, but it was a really nice time. I went with my grandma to a church that I grew up going to, so it was very nostalgic for me. Also feeling nostalgic because I don't know, just being out late and then only getting a few hours of sleep to wake up for church in the morning, to like go to this church that I went to as a kid and a teenager after being out, hanging out with people that I knew as a teenager. I don't know. It was a very weird, like surreal kind of feeling for me. But I did make sure that I picked up Starbucks before I hit the road and got as many shots of espresso as I could because it's about an 8-hour drive to get back home. And I was super tired. I was able to get through church okay, and then as soon as I sat down in the car, I was really starting to feel the lack of sleep I'd gotten the night before. So I got as much caffeine into me as I could, and luckily that was enough. to be able to make it home okay. I would have pulled over and taken a nap or something if I needed to, but luckily I didn't need to. I also made sure that I stopped by Portillo's while I was driving through the Chicago area. If you're not familiar, Portillo's is arguably one of the better places to get an Italian beef sandwich in the Chicago area. And it's one of my favorites. So it's become kind of a tradition for me to stop by there whenever I can and I'm driving through there. But it was enough fuel to get me home, that plus the Starbucks. And then once I got back home, it was dinner time already. So I stopped by Culver's to get some cheese curds for dinner. And then that was it for me. I was done for the day and I went straight to bed. And I slept so hard because I just can't with the lack of sleep, and 8 hours isn't that long of a drive, but it kind of is, and I was exhausted. Oh, but I did get HelloFresh delivered on that day, and I was so mad. So I used this little angry character from The Joy of Planning. But so I don't remember what day I was supposed to get HelloFresh that week, but I specifically had it scheduled to not be over the weekend because I knew I was going to be away. And I didn't want the box to be sitting outside the whole time I was gone. The boxes are relatively insulated, but my front door faces the sun throughout most of the day. And so if there is a box sitting out there, no matter how much insulation is in the box, I just don't feel comfortable with it sitting in the sun for that long. And so I went into the app and specifically had it scheduled so that it wouldn't be delivered while I was gone. But for whatever reason, they delivered it either Saturday night or Sunday morning. And the box was like disgusting by the time I got home and was able to pick it up or like get it out of the sun. Like everything inside was melting and the box was starting to get like soggy from like the melting ice packs. I was so mad. And so I ended up having to throw it away because I was like, I don't know if the meat is still okay at this point because everything is melting. I was super frustrated. I think I ended up getting money back, but I was like, I was depending on that box for my dinners the next week because I didn't go grocery shopping over the weekend because I was gone. Anyway, that was like the second or third time that I had the boxes delivered on the wrong day, and that wrong day being like a really inconvenient day for them to be delivered. So I still love HelloFresh. I still recommend HelloFresh, but now I always schedule my delivery with a buffer of a day or two so that even if they do deliver it on the wrong day, it won't like be sitting out in the sun for however long. So anyway, but now I'm just going through and adding some last bits of foil. I'm covering the glitter headers with foiled headers. At the top, I actually ended up using the extra washi overlays that I had, the extra foiled washi overlays, and just put them at the white space at the top. So they're designed to go over bottom washi, but I really like how they look at the top as well. It really helps balance the spread with having the foil down at the bottom and across the top. Plus, I ended up having that extra white space at the top with this spread anyways, since I didn't have deco or anything up there. So it also helped fill up that white space in a way that still kind of made sense with the rest of the spread and wasn't just like chaotic deco stickers or anything like I sometimes do. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Plus, it's always nice using up stickers that I probably wouldn't have ended up using, and like I paid for them. So it looks nice and I used what I paid for. So a win-win for me. And I really like how it all looks all together with the bottom washi foil and then the foil at the top and then all the glitter header foils and then the extra like foily things throughout. I don't know. I just I'm not a big foil person, like I mentioned before, but every now and then it looks really nice. Plus, I think looking at everything all together, I think it's a good balance of enough foils so there's sparklies everywhere without being so much that it hurts my eyeballs. But as kind of a last touch, I did put overlays on the full boxes that are these like I alternated between like birthday scripts and icons and then just like standard like foiled borders or like frames or whatever. So some of them there's like birthday themed overlays and some of them are just like sparklies. And I really like how it turned out all together. I had a little bit of a hard time with that full box that I like custom sized on Tuesday, but luckily there was an overlay that was just like balloons that were supposed to be down the bottom. So I was able to cut off the excess at the top and not have to worry about like losing foil. So I think it turned out pretty nice. I think this is my first time using foiled overlays that have quotes on them. I was a little hesitant at first, but luckily this kit had some really, I think, good full boxes for that sort of thing. It does weird me out a little bit when foiled quotes are put over like really busy full boxes with like characters or people or something, but I think this actually ended up working out really nicely. Overall, I'm really happy with how the spread turned out, which is a relief because I mean, going in, I had the stickers and everything already picked out. I had an idea of where I wanted to put those stickers, but you really never know what it's all going to look like until you put it all down on paper. And this being my birthday week, I really put a lot of extra pressure on myself to make it look really good because I wanted it to be special. I guess, I mean, it is all pressure that I put on myself, so I only have me to blame, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But it's nerve-wracking, and I don't know why because this is my planner for me to look at, and it really doesn't matter, but I don't know. I have like this thing where in my planner, I really want my birthday week and month to be extra special. And it's like there's all these weeks in this planner, and this one week is like the one to get perfect. And so I'm really relieved that this turned out well because, to be completely honest, there are some birthday weeks in some planners that don't end up all that great. So I'm happy with how this one turned out. I did end up putting that little rescheduled sticker on my Monday workout. I don't remember where I got that rescheduled sticker from, um, but because I am using a lot of thick black ink in this spread, and actually in this month in general, but I did feel comfortable using like a black sticker on here. Usually with this light of a spread with all these pastels, I would stay away from black stickers, but since I'm using a black ink pen, I thought it was okay. And it's like a thick black ink pen. It's one of those Pilot G2s. And so I can't remember the size of that, but I'm sure all of you are familiar with the Pilot G2 and how it writes. And if not, definitely check them out because it's one of my favorite pens. I am kind of surprised with how much black ink I've used so far in this planner. Usually, or at least in the past, I've tried to match the color of my pen ink to the spread a little bit more. I think because black has been like a subtle accent color kind of for most of these sticker kits. I've been leaning towards using black ink because it does actually match the spread. But I'm interested to see if that's a color that I'm going to still rely on as we get into different colored kits moving forward in this planner. I know there are a lot of planner people out there that use strictly black ink in their planners, and good for you. I'm glad that you found what works for you, but for me, I really like to be able to have multiple colored pens in my planner. Honestly, mostly because I just get really excited about multiple colors of pens, and so my planner is a great place to use them all because I have a lot of pens in a lot of different colors, and I love them all, and I want to be able to use them all. So, why not use them in my planner? But I don't know. We'll see how the rest of this year goes, and maybe I will just be like a black ink girly, but I doubt it. We'll see. Next month is my August kits are a lot more like oranges and yellows and reds. And so we'll see what I end up using for those. I haven't really decided yet. It usually ends up being like a last minute decision. If you want to see what colored pens I end up using in my future spreads, or if you just want more of these rambling, chaotic plan with me's, go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and check me out on social media. I'll have all of my handles linked down in the description box below. And hey, it was great hanging out with you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.